Doing some reflecting yesterday, thinking about this moment in history, if you will, where we are. Wanted to point out a couple things. We're at a moment in markets, much like we were on the bounce from February. We bounced, as you'll recall, if you look in the chart here, February we hit a low of 38.62, and we bounced all the way up to 45.80. From there, we did pull back about 300 points, which was just shy of a 50% retrace. Since then, and again, this move from 38.62 up to 45.70 was about 700 points. And again, this move right now, we're almost at that same level. 700 points gets you to the all-time high on the NASDAQ, which was 48.84 magically. So I would not be surprised if we have one more push to that high. The interesting thing that I just want to point out, though, is that the volume is considerably different on this move versus this move. And you can see it right here, the participation. Yesterday, Monday, August 15th, and again, it is August, that's a piece of it. But any monkey right now that is buying any asset pretty much is making money when it comes to stocks and the indices. And I've seen times like this before, and they usually precede high periods of volatility. And where you really see this is not only in the sharpness of the move, but the duration of time. This move here took about, played out in about 2 months. And right now we're right at that 2-month level. 2 months will be August 25th. So we're coming right up to that date. Today's August 16th. I just want to point out how these things tend to mirror. And I do think because of where the world is right now, that this market has a potential to see all-time highs, probably post-election, but probably not pre-election. Really for the year, we're maybe up 3 to 5%, somewhere in that area if you're looking at the S&P, and it's not that strong really of a picture. We just get these calculated moves that are moved by machines and move very hard on very light volume. So I want to point that out, that this too shall pass, and the monkeys that are smarter than they should be right now will be hit by the fake volatility banana that they've been consuming right now. So volatility will come back into this market. There will be two-way trading. This is not two-way trading, what we're in right now. This was more two-way trading because of the sell-off we had there preceding that bounce. So this slingshot move that we've had here might get up to 4,900 would be a possibility here in the short term, in the next couple of weeks. But after that, I don't know how much is left in it. So prepare yourself for volatility. I think it's starting to show itself. The lack of participation is scary to me. I've said this, I think, over the last 20 years. We're in the lowest, last 30 years, I think we've had the lowest participation in volume across the S&P in a 30-year period by a significant amount. So there's nothing similar to this market as it compares to 2008-9, and there's nothing similar to this market as it compares to 2000 through 2002, those internet bubbles. There's definitely a bubble going on, but I think we're going to go much, much higher. I think it's going to shock some people. I don't think people are ready for it. And then once it goes to that next move and we get everybody on board finally, people finally believe it, then we'll have the mother of all moves down. But that's not going to be probably for another 3 to 5 years. So in the meantime, that rally that's going to come, I think short term, we're very in a difficult spot here, one that is difficult to trade. If you're looking for a dip to buy, like you want to participate in this move, you never get it. It really never pulls back. If you're trading on a daily chart, you might have had 2 opportunities to add to your position once it broke out somewhere here. So if you've been long since here, that's fine. You're hanging on, and you've got your 10%. which is fine for a trading move for a couple months. But once this breaks, we will come back and retrace. Since 2009, there has been 4 times that we have moved up 7+ weeks without a 1% correction in a day. In other words, we haven't had a 1% correction from yesterday's close to today's close in now 38 days. So we are pushing into our 8th week strongly, and 3 of those 4 times that we've had the same pattern develop, we have retraced at least 50% of this move. So 50% of this move right now would get you somewhere down about, again, 300 to 325 points. Takes you down to that 4,500 level. So keep that in mind. 4,500 is still above our value area here, which is about 43.43. But this market has been easy to be a buy and holder. In other words, if you've done nothing through anything this year, you're feeling smugly smart. But we've had these two month plus moves, and they're almost mirrored. And I want to point this out: the mirrored nature of this, how sharp these moves are. This one's even further sharp than this, and you should be wary of that when things move up and down over periods of time without any directional interchange, meaning there's no give and take in this market. And I think a lot of that does come back to the lack of participation, which shows itself in the volume. Again, this is probably 1/3 of what we saw on the sell-off before we started taking off here. And it's even 1/2 of the volume that we saw on this first spike. So this is not a good sign, and it's the end of a second leg that matches this one. Keep this in mind. Don't be too greedy. If you've been, you're buy and hold, and you got your portfolio here at all-time highs. I'm not saying we can't go higher, but it's probably some time to take some cash, move to the sideline, and you'll probably be able to pick it up 5 to 10% lower. That will be the chance, my friends, that will be the dip that long-term traders will be looking for. Scare out enough people, but that will be the one I'd like to buy. I don't want to buy this anymore. I bought it early and sold it early, and probably beginning short here up at this area. But again, the two-way trading has not been there for the last 2 months. Don't be too sure of yourself and your strategies. This too shall pass. We will go back to two-way trading. This is not two-way trading. So just wanted to put that video out there today.